Hi everybody, hope you are doing well and welcome to a new video in the Power Query course, which is a part of the bigger course of data analysis by Excel. In the previous video, we started preparing your data and cleaning data. In this video, we will continue the data preparation. I will teach you how to split and merge columns and how to use them in real examples. This is the same dataset that we have worked on last time, which is a crime record of USA, and this is available in the USA dataset archive. First runs a Power Query from data that transform, and as I have the table here in the same file, I will choose from table range. It will select the whole dataset. Make sure that you tick my table has headers, and then okay. You know from the previous sessions that here are the applied steps, the source from where Power Query get the data, and Power Query start to change data type. You just need to move over the different data types as I learned you in the previous video to make sure that the data types are correct. Sometimes you need to split data. For example, if you have a date table and you need to split the date into day, month, and year. Sometimes you have a code and you need to split the code into different portions. In today's example, I need to filter the data to get a special part of the data to work on any of the crimes with weapons. Here I have the weapon. Null means that there was no weapon used in the crime. From here, I will filter by removing empty cells. I need the crime that were by weapon and in the street or the bus stop. From here, I will filter. I will deselect all. I will choose the bus stop and street. We have a query that shows the crimes that happen in the streets and bus stops, and they were by weapon. We have a field of no codes. This field starts with the 4 codes of the crime and other codes. I need to split this column to have the first 4 digits as a separate code and the other digits in a different field. To do that, I will use split columns. Select the column that you need to split, transform, split column, and here we have different options. You need to split a column, but you need to guide Power Query where Power Query will split this column. You have several options like by delimiter. If you have a specific delimiter, you need to split column at this delimiter. By number of characters, if you need to split at certain number of characters, like for example, after 4 characters, after 3 characters. By position, by writing the position of the value that you need to split at. By lowercase to uppercase, if you have data that is a mix of uppercase and lowercase letter, it will split this data or this column once it finds an uppercase letter. So all the letters are small, then there is an uppercase letter, it will split here. By uppercase to lowercase, it's the opposite. Once the case is changed from a letter which is uppercase to the next letter is lowercase, the split will be at the change from uppercase to lowercase. Digit to non-digit, sometimes like the street address, you have the number of the street and then the name of the street. In this case, you may need to split by digit to non-digit. The digit means numbers. Non-digit, anything other than numbers. Once the character is changed from non-digit to non-digit, it will split. For example, you have the street number, and then after you have the street name. Then here there is a change from digit to non-digit. It will split here. So it will take the street number in a column, and starting from the street name will be in another column. By non-digit to digit, it is the opposite. I will choose by delimiter. The delimiter here is space. You can choose any other delimiter if you have any other delimiter. Split at what? Leftmost delimiter, which means the first space from the left. Rightmost delimiter, at the first space from the right, the column will split. Each occurrence of the delimiter, it means at each space, Power Query will create a new column and split the data at this space. I need to split at the leftmost delimiter, and then okay. And these are the first 4 digits, and everything after the first space is split into a new column. It automatically converts the first part into number, but I need to remove this change data type because I need to maintain the left 0 because this is a code and I need this leading 0. Let's split this, transform, split column by number of characters. Here specify the number of characters at which you need to split your column. For example, I need the first 4 characters. Here you have similar option to that we saw from a while, but they are different. 4 characters from where? From the left, from the right, or after each 4 characters. The first option, once as far left as possible, which means split once the first 4 characters from the left. So it will take the first 4 characters and keep the other characters in a separate column. Once as far right as possible, it will take the first 4 characters from the right into a separate column. Repeatedly means after each 4 characters, it will be split. I will choose this. Here, as you can see, the 4 characters from the left and all the other characters are in a separate column. And again, the data type has changed. You can remove the change type step to maintain the leading 0. What if you need to merge these two? Select the columns that you need to merge. They may be 2 or more. Transform, merge columns. Power Query gives you the option to add a separator while merging the columns. I will choose comma, and this is the name of the new merged column. This is the new column, and there is a separator which is comma as I choose. Using split and merge columns depends on what is the case, what is the situation, and what is the end result. It depends on your data as well. For example, you may need to split the date and the time into several columns. So you have a separate column for the months, for the year, for the day. You may need to split the name into first name and last name. You will meet many other situations that you need to split or merge columns. For example, I have here a data type that looks weird. As you can see, this is the time of the occurrence. It should be formatted as time, but as you can see, the Power Query recognizes it as number. And this is totally wrong because this is time, and I should use it as time because I may need to create reports depending on the time of the occurrence, the time of the crime. From here, I will change it into time. But we have a problem here, and this happens several times, especially if you get data from the web, for example. Sometimes Power Query will not be able to recognize the date and time as they are date and time. In this case, I will cancel the change. There is no time separator. That's why Power Query was not able to recognize that this is a time. So you need to have a solution for this because in this data set, this is a critical field. It should have the right data type. We can solve this situation by using split column and merge columns. As you can see, you may have 4 digits, 3 digits, or 2 digits. I want to separate the minutes in a separate column because I'm sure that the first 2 digits from the right are the minutes. From transform, split columns by number of characters. I need the first 2 characters, but as far right as possible from the right. The minutes are separated in a separate column and the hours are separated in a separate column. But as you can see, the leading zeros have been removed, and this is critical here. And the data type has changed to number. I don't need this, so I will remove the change type to maintain the leading 0. We still have a problem that some values here are null, and we don't need it to be null. We need to be 0, which is 12 a.m. In this case, I will use the replace option from transform, replace values, null with 0. The null is replaced with 0. The 2 columns are ready to merge. Select both columns from transform, merge. We need to merge them in the format of time to have a time separator. The time separator is colon, and the same situation will happen in date. If it has inappropriate date separator, in this case, you can use the same scenario to split and then to combine or merge them and to use the date separator. I will use the column as a separator because the time separator is colon. I will name it time occurrence and then OK. The new merged column in the time format. Can change the data type into time, and now there is no more errors. That's all for today, guys. Thank you.